Okay, we've got a lot of enemies on the field at this point, so let's see if we can have Altex clear away some of the cannon fodder.
My sword is thirsty.
He should theoretically be able to cut his way through these faceless, but we may have to soften a few of them up for him.
By the numbers.
That's one down. The problem is Reaper does slightly less damage with each extra attack you take, so if we get unlucky we might not do enough damage to take down our next target. In fact, let's take care of a few of our other actions before we come back to Altex. If we get the chance, we'll whittle down a couple of those targets for him. Unfortunately, we do have some much higher priority targets at the moment. Plus, we need to keep attacking that avatar whenever we get the chance. This is all over once he's dead. Okay, I think I know what I want to try here. One of my viewers, I believe it was Atlas, recommended that I try using a sectoid to set up a mind control chain. I've never done it before, but this seems like a good time to try it out. Alright, I guess we'll go for the easiest target. Wow, that will definitely make things a little easier. I'll have to remember to thank Atlas if we make it out of this alive. Okay, let's see what else we can do here. We really do need to get rid of some of these enemies, but we just can't afford to get too bogged down with fighting the infinite reinforcements. The fight won't end until that avatar is dead, so I think we're going to have to do something really bold here. Alright, first let's get the commander patched back up. He does regenerate naturally over time, but best not to take any chances.
Give them a heal.
Now it's time for bold move number 1.
Absolutely.
That priest is buffing the avatar. If we can kill him, then the avatar should immediately drop dead.
Shot wide.
Well, not off to a good start, but we could still potentially kill him with fan fire.
I'm your Huckleberry.
You have got to be kidding me. Well, that just happened. Alright, I guess we'll resort to our backup plan then. We'll hit the avatar with one of the commander's psychic abilities and hope it teleports closer to us. There's some halfway decent damage. But now he's even harder to get to. The RNG is really starting to work against us here. Unfortunately, that does mean we're done attacking the avatar for now, so let's focus on taking out some of these other enemies.
Here I come.
Unfortunately, most of Naz's abilities are on cooldown, so let's see if we can neutralize that Viper with Insanity.
well.
Mind control. Well, it doesn't get much better than that. Ah. And, once again, the RNG works against us. Well, Altex is pretty tough. He should be fine. Still, let's give him some support fire. Oh, nice. An execution.
Remember, they are not victims. I'll need more ammo soon.
I think that just leaves us with one or two more actions, so let's see what we can do here. The Andromedan shells are honestly a pretty low priority, but we don't really have a great chance to hit that last remaining Viper. Now let's start moving Shotgun over to the left. We're going to need him against that Sectopod.
Not a problem.
Of course, we'll also have him finish off that shell.
Only the best. My weapon's spent.
And we'll start moving the Andromedan in that direction as well.
On my way.
Let's see if we can do any damage with the Andromedan while we're at it. Looks like everything's out of range. Alright, time to see what the aliens do.
You can never escape my sight.
Uh-oh.
Serious wounds here.
Wow, Denal is in trouble.
I'm pinned down here.
Looks like the Avatar is on the move. Alright, he wasted his action attacking our priest. I can live with that. Oh, and it's not our priest anymore. Well, that's a shame, but at least they wasted 2 actions on it. And there's Altex with the long-range sword kill.
That was close.
Whoops. Okay, it might be time to move the commander. It looks like Altex's Blade Storm isn't going off. I'm guessing that's because of the Viper's tongue grab.
Alien reinforcements inbound.
And, speaking of Vipers, here's some more. Alright, we're back up. Reload and
It's killing time.
let's do some damage. Now, obviously, we need to do something about that muton before it can kill Denal, but we're not going to waste Shotgun's attack on that. Instead, we'll have him start trimming armor off of that sectopod. I'd like to move him into a more defensive position, but we're running out of those pretty quickly.
Deflection.
This is probably overkill, but we need to heal Denal and he's way out of range. So, let's use Restoration.
Group hug.
Oh, well, I didn't really mean to heal the Viper, but I guess that's fine. Speaking of the Viper, let's bring her out into the open here. That way she can take out the Faceless and serve as a decoy at the same time. Now we need to keep moving people over towards that sectopod, and towards the Avatar for that matter.
Finally.
We'll keep Altex busy with crowd control.
That's how it's done.
There's her trigger, so let's take another shot.
What did you expect? Toss me some ammo!
Let's see if we can lock the sectopod down with stasis. Doesn't look like it. Well, let's see if we can keep hitting it then.
I am trusting you.
Not many options here. Okay, we'll use Dragonova's action to toss out a Mimic Beacon. Now let's get our Andromedan in there. We'll park it out in the open to serve as another decoy. There aren't any ideal targets for an acid bomb, so we'll just trim more armor off the sectopod. Now we'll bring our sectoid up to keep harassing the enemies. Nice. That thing's pretty spry. Oh, let's see if it can take out that muton. Very nice. We've just got Naz and the commander left at this point. I really don't want to waste action shooting at the shell. And we don't have much of a chance to take out that Viper either. Well, we'll go for the Viper. There we go.
How many is that now?
I guess the RNG is on our side again. Alright, now, we need to move the commander somewhere safe. The question is where? Like I said before, if we lose him, we lose the mission, so we have to be really careful with what we do here. Alright, we'll go on the defensive. We'll move away from the sectopod, and then we'll toss out a dimensional rift. This will only hit 2 targets, but we do need to take out that Spectre. And once again, it's time to see what the aliens do. The shell is still following Naz around. It's a good thing he's immune to acid. Oh, the Avatar's coming closer again, and he put himself in the rift.
They just retired one of ours!
Oh, shoot. Spectre incoming.
There is nowhere to hide.
Got a casualty here! No! No!
You cannot run.
Don't worry, we can probably fix that. Ah, and there goes our sectoid. Easy come, easy go.
Hostiles got me flanked!
Okay, hold on now.
That's why we need armor!
I have sight beyond vision.
Things are starting to get a little out of hand here.
More of them coming in!
Well, at least we hit the Avatar again. Okay, Denal's back up, and Face-Off has finished cooling down, so I think our first move is obvious. Let's pull him back to cover and set pretty much everything on fire. Actually, as much as I hate to do it, let's leave him where he is. This might get him killed, but we really need him to hit as many targets as possible. First, we'll have him take a chunk out of the sectopod. And now we'll have him take a chunk out of everyone.
That's right.
Oh, Implacable triggered. And Shotgun is back up. Denal must have taken out the Shadow. Nice. Alright, we'll come back to him in a moment. For now, let's stay focused on the Avatar. Shotgun is all out of explosives, but that doesn't mean he's out of options. I think this situation calls for more firepower. Yeah, this should work.
Hitting them all.
Oh, nice. He took out the Spectre, and the Avatar is still within attack range. Okay, let's bring the Andromedan up even closer and toss out an acid bomb. I think we're starting to turn things around here. Now let's see if we can do something about that Viper. Altex should be able to take care of that.
Not a problem.
Nice.
Only the best. Out of ammo here. Sure thing.
Now Phoenix is back in it, so let's Icarus jump him over towards the rest of the squad. Okay. And once again, we misclick with the Icarus jump. That's fine. We can roll with it. Let's see here. Okay, we'll have Phoenix move up behind cover here.
Moving to position.
And we'll put that capacitor discharge to use.
Full charge.
We've got the last Avatar on the brink of death. One more shot should finish this. Unfortunately, he's fallen back to a defensive position, so I'm not sure we'll be able to get him this turn.
Let's do this.
Yeah, it looks like Naz isn't close enough. I guess that means we should probably finish off this sectopod. There we go. One less threat to deal with. Now let's do some end-of-round maneuvering.
On my way.
Oh, I could have Naz give someone a bonus action. Okay, let's move Luke over here, and then we'll see if Naz can target him with Inspire. Nice.
We will overcome!
I think we'll have him take out that chrysalid. There we go.
What did you expect? My ammo's running low! Looks like they called it back up.
Yuck, Archons. Glad those guys didn't show up earlier. Alright, aliens, we're almost done here, so do your worst.
I know where you are.
Well, we lost our Andromedan, but hopefully that shouldn't matter.
You will never hide from me.
And the Avatar's moving up into kill range. We should definitely be able to finish this on the next turn.
Can't fight it!
It's fine. Everything's fine.
This armor's pretty tough. They're all over me! Watch the flanks, they're moving!
Jeez, they really are going all out. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Let's finish this.
Let's go, friends! Get out of my head!
First, let's take care of that mind control.
Tired of waiting around.
There we go. Now let's burn down the Avatar with a Null Lance.
No armor will shield you.
Oh, he actually survived.
No place for you to go now.
Well, I guess it's better this way. That gives the commander a chance to finish this personally.
Stabilizing the psionic network, everything's going haywire. That gate's not gonna hold much longer.
You heard her!
Shen, tell me you've got a plan B here.
Nice work.
Wasn't anything on my end. This shouldn't even be possible. Unless...
Commander, whatever it is you're doing, it's working. Just make sure you save enough juice for your own trip home. Commander, you okay? We just lost contact. What the hell is happening here, Doctor?
It's the Elders. They're overwhelming our link, enveloping the Commander's consciousness.
Then sever the connection!
we do that, we risk a complete overload.
We will reclaim what was given. We will be whole once more. No! Your victory here means the end for all others. It will follow you as it followed us. You are not ready. We must not fail.
Vitals stabilizing. Synaptic activity returning to acceptable levels.
And one transdimensional psionic network down for the count.
Mission accomplished, Commander.
This is the Liberation Network broadcasting on all frequencies. Advent is in full retreat across all areas.
Heavy fighting continues in the city's centers as Advent forces attempt to regroup.
We're barely keeping up with the flood of refugees here, as people continue to desert the Advent-controlled city centers.
Full curfew remains in effect as the administration deals with the ongoing crisis.
To all of you in the occupied zones, hold your ground. Continue the fight. We promise you, help is on the way.
And just like that, the war was over. Oh, sure, it's not as if the death of the Elders immediately led to the collapse of the Advent Authority, but it might as well have. The alien slaves had been born and bred to follow orders from an absolute authority, and with both the Elders and their chosen gone, the rest of their army never really stood much of a chance. With no more war to fight, many of our operatives turned their attention towards rebuilding or retirement, and that was pretty much the end of XCOM. Thanks to that alien tube, I had only seen the very beginning and end of the war. But for everyone else, this conflict had dragged on for over 20 years, and they were glad to finally be done with it. I kept up with a few of them over the years, but not as many as I would have liked. Some of them retired peacefully, finding more fulfilling ways to live the rest of their lives. A lot of our specialists turned towards medical practices, while a number of our other soldiers turned towards things like engineering or architectural pursuits, anything to help with the rebuilding efforts. A few of our men even got a foothold in the new entertainment industry, leveraging their renown for a shot at fame on the big screen. Of course, not all of our men had such an easy time adjusting. A few of them never fully recovered from what they had experienced during the war, and some of our other soldiers had never really been well suited to life in a civilized society anyway. With no more aliens to fight, at least a few of our old recruits turned to more opportunistic pursuits, putting them at odds with the slowly reforming world government. It was unfortunate, but not entirely unexpected. As for the command crew, well, they all went their separate ways as well. After I stepped down from my post as the commander, Bradford officially took my place, using the Avenger and our remaining soldiers to take on lucrative military contracts. There were still a lot of questions about some of the methods we had used during the war, But Bradford and his men were still able to portray themselves as heroes of the downtrodden and saviors of the planet. Still, it wasn't hard to see that he always seemed to end up working for the highest bidder. Tygan was devastated when public outrage forced him to shut down some of his more controversial experiments. Our Psi soldiers were forced into hiding, and the Spark units were permanently mothballed in some military warehouse, but Tygan stole away with the vast majority of his research notes. Last I heard, he had set himself up in a secret lab somewhere, intent on using everything he had learned to make some new, better form of humanity. Lily went with him, intent on at least trying to keep him out of trouble. Bedos, Geist, and Volk, well, who knows what they ended up doing. We never really talked much once the war was over. I guess I can't really blame them. They each had their own agendas to follow and their own people to look after. They all made noise about how they would rally to my side once more if ever the world found itself in crisis. But let's be honest here. We just saved the world from an alien invasion. I don't think we'll ever be facing anything like that again. At least, not in our lifetimes.
What next?
We finally come in from the cold.
Brothers and sisters, welcome home.
With the psionic network down, the core is even stronger.
Gather everyone. Our time is short. We won but a battle. Now the real war begins.